Hello, everybody. I'm Jim Powers, and glad to have you on board here on NCAA.com as we get you ready for the NCAA Division II Elite Eight. And we're going to start our interviews with our great friends from West Liberty who have made the Elite Eight. And what a great run they've had over this past season. And joining us today is their head coach, Ben Howlett, and also one of their outstanding All-Americans and an academic All-American, Dalton Bolton. And first off, Coach, congratulations. What a wild ride this year has been, just with COVID and everything. Talk a little bit about the season. Talk a little bit about how you guys have been able to traverse through, just an absolutely insane 2020, 2021.
Yeah, it's been an adventure, and we didn't know until October when we were actually going to start playing real games. So we were practicing, and just kind of the unknown of when we were actually going to tip it off against somebody different. We didn't know the answer to that question. So once we got word that it was going to tip off in January, we had a very long preseason, and I give credit to these guys. They put in a lot of work and effort, and sometimes I had to back off a bit because I was thinking, well, we don't start the season until 2.5 more months. So but once the season started, we got off to a good start. Then we hit a little bit of a rocky road there for 3 games when we weren't playing our best basketball, and we had to make a change. And these guys really dialed in, and some of these individuals made changes. We had to do that in order to reach our full potential. And the best part about it is I still think we're getting better at this point in the season. We just played 3 very good opponents and beat them all. And right now we feel pretty good on where we're at.
Dalton, as a student athlete, this past 12 months has just been absolutely insane. I mean, there's no way to candy coat it or anything along those lines. Talk about, your last 12 months. I know last year y'all were supposed to, be in Evansville. Everything got, kind of disconnected a little bit with COVID, and then you had to kind of, reshuffle, refocus, and start looking at this year. On the student athlete side, what was this year like for you guys?
It was definitely different in a lot of aspects. I think the biggest thing is puts in perspective, how grateful it is to come out and be able to play and have a court to play at, because there was times when we were in quarantine where the gyms were closed, everything was closed. You had to have class from your bed basically on Zoom and all that stuff. So not being able to see friends, not being able to see family, your teammates and everything, it definitely was different. So coming back and just being able to see guys, so it puts in perspective, with all this stuff going on, we're really grateful to be playing right now. We're really grateful to have that long practice in the fall that, was a grind. But looking back at it, things could have gone a lot worse than what it has been. So it's definitely, I'm just grateful to be able to play and see family, friends, and all my teammates.
I'll ask both of you this. I'll ask Coach first. One of the things that in talking to a lot of student athletes over the last 12 months, especially basketball players, and I'm a longtime basketball guy from Northeast Ohio, but one of the big things that every student athlete, especially on the basketball side, has told me was they reaffirmed the love for the game through COVID. Gyms are closed, like Dalton said, training facilities were closed. They had to go back to the roots. They had to go back to the driveway and the hoops and the, on the garage and all that stuff. Have you kind of seen that with this group this year, that they kind of grasp the fact that we love basketball, but now we really, really love basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. And again, going back to that time where we didn't know if we were even going to play at all, these guys were asking me questions every day if I've heard updates on anything from our league or our school. So I know they really wanted to play this year. And, there was a time during the practice period, the preseason, we were just practicing the practice. We didn't know if we were going to play, the season. And I give our league a bunch of credit. Our commissioner, Reed Amos, did a very good job of ensuring us that we're going to go ahead and play this year. And our school and our administration did everything they possibly could to make this season possible. So we're very grateful to all of them. And again, we're just very excited to be playing and to have played this year and to be playing in the Elite Eight.
Dalton, what about you? I mean, did you kind of get back to the roots of basketball over the whole COVID thing and, just, reaffirming your love for the game of basketball?
Yeah. I mean, I love basketball. I've always have. So I don't think I ever loved or lost the love of basketball, but it just basically changed everything, how I was able to work out and stuff, but a lot more going down to the park and shooting, just different things like that. Always definitely find different ways, but I don't think I ever lost the love of basketball. So
no doubt. Well, you guys have had an unbelievable season. This is your 12th straight NCAA bid, making it back to the Elite Eight. I mean, just Coach, talk a little bit about just this incredible run. And I tell you what, your region, I watched some of the games over the last couple of days, and that region was not easy. I mean, you guys won in as the underdogs going into the championship game, and were able to come out on top. Talk a little bit about, the regional run and just how you guys have been able to, take care of your business on the court.
Yeah, the run for 12 years in an NCAA tournament is a credit to the players we've had in this program. And obviously we play a different brand of basketball. It's completely different than most any other teams in the country. And these guys have really bought in to our system. And, I credit, all the players and all the coaches that we've had here for those 12 years. Because again, everyone says they want to play this way until it's time to actually do it. And it's very difficult to play this way. Going back to our region, I thought it was a lot of fun this year because obviously our region changed with the GMAC conference coming in and only having a few of the Pennsylvania teams in our region. So it was fun because we got to play some different teams that we typically don't play. And starting with Bolon, they were just such a well-schooled, well-coached team. And obviously for Dalton, that was a big game because that's kind of where he's from, and he plays with those guys in the summer. And then going into our second game, that was a team that got us the first time we played. So we had that game circled on that schedule, and we really wanted to beat those guys. And I thought our guys played 40 minutes of hard basketball, and then finally in the regional championship, there was no motivation needed. These guys were locked in from the minute they knew we were going to play Hillsdale, and it was some of the best half-court defense I thought I've seen since I've been part of West Liberty basketball.
Dalton, talk a little bit about the regional. You guys, once again, what you guys had to go through with that regional, especially Hillsdale, because they went in, I mean, the number nine team in the country at that point, and kind of seeing a different team than what you're normally used to with how they restructured the regionals this year. Talk a little bit about, especially that Malone game, the added motivation and just, how you guys were able to traverse through that regional.
Yeah, we were obviously pumped up to play in the region. Going back to last year, we thought we had a good shot with all the regions. So this year we definitely were pumped up for it. The first game we had with Malone, I know all them guys. I know their coaches really well. Their assistant coach I grew up with. And, in the summer and stuff, we definitely do a lot of workouts together and everything. And just all them guys being kind of where I'm from, that was a game that was definitely really wanted to win. I would have never heard the end of it. But those guys had a great year. Malone's a great team. And then the next game, Charleston, they beat us, and how the schedule worked out, we only played them one time this year. So it felt good to get them to play them again and get a second shot at them. And I thought we played really well. And then the championship was just, there was a couple of us that's been in a Sweet 16 game, and we lost to Mercyhurst that one year. So that game meant a lot to go out there and just give everything we got to try and come away with the win. Hillsdale was definitely a team that, they're huge. They were big. They never seen our pressure. And, I think we like playing teams that haven't seen our pressure. It kind of gives us a little bit extra motivation to try and get them to turn the ball over or play to a speed that they don't want to play. So it was definitely fun.
Coach, and I know, you're a graduate of West Liberty. You were with, Steve for a few years. The style of basketball you guys play is a style that not a lot of teams in Division II get to see on a weekly basis in their conferences. Is that an advantage for you guys going into the quarterfinal on Wednesday night, or is it something that you think other teams can maybe kind of prepare for?
I think if we can get a team on a one-day notice, that's when teams have a hard day to prepare for it. But with our first opponent, Northwest Missouri State, they've got all week to prepare for it. And obviously they got elite players, elite coaches, so I'm sure they're going to be ready for us. But everyone's got to play until they get punched in the face. And we're one of those teams. I was saying this to somebody yesterday, like, we're not going there just to say, well, we played Northwest Missouri State. We're going there to beat these guys. And that's our mentality going into this game. And I really like the way our guys have handled everything thus far. And I know they're going to be locked in, excited to play these guys.
Talk a little bit about that matchup with Northwest Missouri State. They've been there. They've done that. They're, quote unquote, the defending national champions, going into last year, obviously not having a tournament. But the battle, and I'm sure you saw the game from the other night. That was, when I was talking to some friends here in St. Louis, and that was big boy basketball. That was, two elite D2 teams that were going at it. Talk a little bit about what you've seen on film on Northwest Missouri State, what Ben's done, and what you guys need to do.
Well, they're 66-3 over the past 3 years, so obviously they're doing something right. Extremely well coached. They run their stuff to a T. They don't go outside their element. I think where they earn their money is on the defensive side of things. And everyone talks about how efficient they are offensively, but what I've been watching is they're elite defensively, and teams have a tough time getting good shots against them. So obviously we've got our hands full. We're going to have to play very well to beat these guys. But again, we're excited. They got to play us too. They got to play us. And, obviously we respect these guys and know they're very good, but we're a good team too. So we'll see what happens.
Dalton, talk a little bit about the matchup with Northwest Missouri State. Obviously they're, last year with COVID, they were going back and you guys were going to be there as well. But there's still the big kid on the block, so to say. What's the motivation for you guys? What are some of the things you guys have seen on film already, getting prepared for next Wednesday night?
Yeah, like Coach said, their defense is pretty elite and everything. We're definitely gonna have to play a great game to get these guys, but the motivation is the Elite Eight. It didn't matter who we play; we're gonna come ready to play. Elite Eight, that's the motivation for us, to do something that ultimately we've never done here. But it starts with one game at a time, and got a 3-game stretch, and it starts with Northwest Missouri State. So we're just pumped to be able to play them, and it's kind of nice going in and playing them. Like you said, they are like defending champs and all that, but every team we play now is going to be really good. So they're here for a reason, and we're just looking forward to playing. Like Coach said, we respect them a lot. They're definitely a great team, but we're a good team too. So we're going to come ready to play.
Well, how much fun are you having playing in this style of basketball? I mean, you're an Ohio kid, and I'm an Ohio guy, and I love the fast pace, get in and go, and great defense. How much fun are you having, personally playing in this type of style of offense and defense at West Liberty?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Just you can play as hard as you can, and as long as you play as hard as you can and don't do stupid things, as coach would say, like throw stupid passes and
what is that? A coach saying stupid thing, you're doing stupid things. I would never know that as a former coach. I would never make that comment.
Yeah, but he, the coaches let you kind of play the way you want to play. So it's definitely a lot of fun to just go out there and play as hard as you can and feed off the energy of the other guys.
Ben, have you had a chance to talk to Steve and kind of pick his brain a little bit on, he's been here, he's been in the Elite Eight, he's done it. Have you had a chance to talk to him and kind of pick his brain a little bit on, just the backstory and the logistics? And I mean, especially this year with all the protocols and different things along those lines. Have you had a chance to pick his brain a little bit?
No, we tend to do things just on our own here. I've got a really good coaching staff, and we're kind of a small knit group, and we kind of just keep things between us. And I was fortunate enough as an assistant coach to go to the Elite Eight, and we were in the Final Four, and we were in the national championship game. We went to Evansville the last time, so I kind of know how things work in the Elite Eight. And again, I trust my assistant coaches. I've got 3 really good assistant coaches, and we kind of just keep things to ourselves.
Final message for the fans of West Liberty before we let you guys go. We'll start with Dalton. What's the message to all the outstanding fans in Hilltopper Nation?
I'm glad to play in front of you guys. Hope to see you guys there. So we'll come ready to play.
Ben, what's your final message for, the fan base at West Liberty is unbelievable. I've seen it. I know it being myself from Northeast Ohio. What's your message for the great fans, back home and getting ready to make the trip down to Evansville?
Yeah, Topper Nation is I think we've got the best fans in Division II, and taking basketball away from them this year in the regular season, it was painful for them. They were asking me when we were going to let fans in, if we were going to let fans in at all, and we know they're going to show up, and if they can't show up, we know they're going to watch it online. So we thank them for all their support in the regional. They were awesome. They gave us an extra spark, and we can't wait to see them out in Evansville.
No doubt about it, guys. Thank you so much. Good luck next week. I know it's going to be a great week down in Evansville for you all. Stay safe, and thank you so much for taking the time today to visit with us.
All right, Jim. Take care. Thanks.
Ben Howlett and Dalton Bolon, joining us here on NCAA.com. They will be taking on Northwest Missouri State in the quarterfinal in the Elite Eight, and we wish them the best of luck as they look for a national championship to bring back the Topper Nation.